AccuWeather.com meteorologist Jesse Farrell here. I wanted to take a quick look at some data from some tornadoes in Brunswick County, North Carolina during the tornado outbreak last week. If you look at the yellow area on this map, this is where I had denoted where the radar showed rotation. This was kind of I had to draw it in manually. And then the orange area here was where the radar showed severe rotation. The interesting thing is that there's not a lot of reports in that severe area, but we'll talk more about that. First thing I want to do is take a look at the first tornado track the National Weather Service reported. This was just west of Middleton Street, which is the main street on the west end of the island. The tornado took some stuff off of the one house, deposited it across the road here. Not a lot of damage, pretty small track, not very wide, but that's what they determined. An F0 tornado hit there. Now if we move a little further to the east, again we're at Middleton Street now. We're looking at a tree down here. I gathered these photos from friends of mine on a Facebook group because I go to this Oak Island beach every year and used to have relatives there. Down the canal, this video was taken, and I believe the water spout, according to the National Weather Service, had dissipated by this time, but boy, it sure was an ugly situation here. This is from Frank Bellini on Facebook.
Oh, is it?
It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see this, but
There's a water spout
as it
right
clears
now
out,
over
you'll
the
see
house.
what his backyard really looks like.
That's
And
what this
basically,
is.
now there you hear something large dragging around outside, blowing around. But basically, the water spout moved down the canal, he believes. It's just immense winds with this. Unfortunately, there aren't any wind sensors in this area, so we don't know for sure what the wind gusts were. But if we zoom out a little bit, go a little further down the island from that original tornado track, there are a couple of weather stations here that clocked 48 and 55 miles an hour down around 25th and 26th place east. We're on East Beach Drive now. Up here, there was a tree down on 24th near 25th and Yacht, reported by the people in the Facebook group. Another video was recorded here, beachfront. I don't know why Google Earth is making me turn to the side here. Let me fix that. But this video was recorded by Marie Lorraine, and you can hear a lot of chaos here as the high winds move through. That was a pretty short video, but that was down around 30th and East Beach. Now if we zoom out again, you can kind of start to see a track taking place here from the tornado track, the additional trees down, the high wind gusts, the videos, and now here on the east side of the island, additional trees down. Here, this is around 45th and East Oak Island Drive. My grandparents used to have a house on 40th Street, and then additional trees down here on further up on 45th towards Yacht Drive. This one on a car by DJ. A couple more reports where there weren't photos, and then one final tree down way down further on the island, 65th Street or so. And there was a wind gust of 53 miles an hour here in St. James. Surprisingly, no tree down reports in St. James. This was a tree that was chopped off halfway, a little further over towards Southport. And then National Weather Service found a second tornado track, another EF0, here in Southport, with a tree down around Pine View and Sea Pines. And then they, again, a very lean track, not very wide, up a couple of streets to Blue Water, where there was another tree down that we don't have a photo of. The interesting thing here is there was a 40-mile-an-hour gust at the airport, at the Southport airport, and that's pretty low, but it does put it. Was just outside of the rotation on radar, I think. So I think it was just too far away. But you can see that there's a pretty clear damage track here. Whether or not tornado was on the ground or it was just high winds associated with the storm, we may never know. And again, there's a heavy radar rotation in St. James, and ended up not doing anything. And probably what had happened there was it had just lifted off the ground, because once the water spout came inland, then it probably lifted from the ground pretty quickly. But those are some thoughts I had. AccuWeather meteorologist Jesse Farrell. Thanks for tuning in.